Grimsby versus Cambridge coming up this weekend as the Mariners look to bounce back from the last home game against Bristol Rovers, where they slipped to a 1-0 defeat, and they will be looking to bounce back at home in this what I deem as going to be quite a difficult game. I'm going to take you through the stats and figures and give you my prediction at the end of it. And I want you guys to leave down below your score prediction for the game upcoming. Now, let's start with, obviously, the pre-match by David Artell, which first started off with Cam Gardner. It looks like he's done his hamstring, but he had a scan when he got back, obviously, from international duty, but apparently it was inconclusive. So he's going to have another scan on Monday. I think he's after all the swelling and waiting for that to go down. And then have another scan on Monday, and hopefully by Tuesday they should start to know the extent. I think they know it's the hamstring, but they just don't know the extent as of yet. Obviously, we touched on the release of Matty Carson, and it looked like it was genuinely a mutual agreement, and David Artell and the club obviously was not going to stand in Matty's way to go and try and facilitate, hopefully help facilitate a move from somewhere else, which I think is right. Like I said, Matty's not a bad player at all. It just hasn't worked at Grimsby Town, and like I said in the video, the last video, good luck to Matty Carson as well, and good luck to hopefully he gets a club soon and sort of moves on with his career. Obviously, Charlie Casper was spoke about as well, and as was Seb Orton. Charlie is just getting up to speed with the way that we play, which is understandable. And obviously, it's one of the, I always say, goalkeeping is probably the hardest position on the football pitch, because it's the one that gets changed the least. And, we'll see what happens with Charlie. He's obviously going to be the number 2. But, I do, I'm kind of like part of the goalkeepers union. It's such a, I played at school, that's the best I can say, but it is the hardest position, I believe, on the football pitch. It is the most isolated position on the football pitch. So, Charlie will have to be sort of patient. But it'll be interesting to see. He might probably play against Doncaster in the trophy in the next couple of weeks. We'll see when Charlie gets in. But he's building well according to Artell, which is great. Also in the goalkeeping front, Seb Orton. Nothing concrete as of yet, but it looks like there could be a move. There is a team interested in Seb Orton. Not quite sure what level. It's probably not as high as they would have wanted him to have been at. But I did like the words that David said when he said to Seb, well, if you go and be the best, basically the best goalkeeper in the league if you can. But Seb obviously needs to go and get games. Otherwise, you can only progress so much by training. You have to get out and you have to get games. And so hopefully a loan may be happening soon for Seb. I hope so anyway, because I think Seb showed in the game against Bradford what a good goalkeeper he could be and will be, I'm sure. So that was good. Also, what was mentioned during his press conference was obvious about the last result against Bristol Rovers. He did agree that it was probably a hangover in the first half. from the Manchester United win, but second half, was much better. And he was also asked about MK Dons, and I think then Artell admitted that we didn't pretty much take the bull by the horns in the second half. We controlled the game fairly well, but as he put it, MK Dons probably didn't even deserve 1-0, less 2. And I just think I'm going to say I think we were a little bit too nice in that second half. But obviously they changed things around, which I don't think the lads got the hang of for most of that half. So yes, we could have done things better, but wasn't quite to be. They were mainly the bullet points from David Artell's pre-match. And quickly we'll move on now to some stats towards the game here. Obviously, in recent form, it's fairly good for the Mariners. 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat in the last 5 league games. And obviously 2 back-to-back defeats, which was the Bradford defeat as well as Bristol Rovers. If we look at Cambridge's recent form, quite solid really. 2 wins, a draw and 2 defeats. Overall form is 3 wins out of 5. So, they're on good form, Cambridge. They're in a good little bit of form. Obviously, the return of Eastie. Jake Eastwood will be returning in between the sticks for Cambridge. I'm glad that I kind of feel disappointed that he wasn't maybe kept on as the number 2, but as most goalkeepers will know, you'll want to be number 1, and it's good to see that he will be at Cambridge. So good luck to Eastie after this game, of course. If we look at the form actually in general for these two teams against each other in the head-to-head, 20 times overall the clubs have played in recent times, and it mainly goes for Cambridge. 8 wins to 6 for the Mariners, 6 draws and 6 defeats. 22-16 in Cambridge's favour goal-wise. But if we look at the form, league-wise, you can't really go on too much of it, as we haven't played each other too often in the last several years. But we'll take the last 3 results. Cambridge got a 3-0 win in the May of 2021. That was obviously the season that we went down, and Cambridge got a 2-1 win at Bullnell Park in the January before that. So 2 straight wins for Cambridge. The last time we did play though came in that historic FA Cup win, I think it was. You remember when we got a 2-1 win at Cambridge. So, not much to really go on apart from obviously Mariners getting the last win in 22. That was in the, so it, like I said, I think the form of the two sides, or head-to-heads, don't really matter in this instance. But like I said, the form is big. Between two sides. If we look at the odds, Grimsby Town are favourites, obviously at 6-5. You can get the draw at 23-10. Cambridge United are 23-10. Same. Some places, mainly with Bet365. And if you look at the overall stats, Again, still really early, or we can say is the biggest win is 2-0. The biggest win for Grimsby is 3-0 this year. Biggest defeat 1-0 and 3-2 for Grimsby. Sorry, not for Cambridge. Cambridge's biggest victory is 3-0, and so on and so forth. And if we were to look at the league at the moment, Grimsby lying fourth. This is good to see, isn't it? In 14 points. 4 wins from the opening 7 games. 13 goals scored, 8 conceded, a plus 5 goal difference for Grimsby Town. Playing Cambridge, who have played 7 games. They've won 3, they've drew 1, and they've lost 3. Not a fantastic start, but a solid start for Cambridge, just in the top half of, or mid-table as mid-table can be, on 10 points, so 4 points behind the Mariners. They've scored 8 goals and conceded 7, so, you know, they're one of the lowest scorers, definitely in the top half of the table in the division, but they don't concede a lot either. So I know Artel was mentioning, is the first goal important? He says maybe, but not really. But I always say the first goal is always important, because look at the way that we started against MK Dons. I do think the first goal is important, but it's one of these games that I think, again, you've got to be aware of the threat that Cambridge do hold. Neil Harris, a very experienced manager. I'm calling him the yo-yo manager. He's been at Cambridge, went back to Millwall, then lost a jump at Millwall and came back to Cambridge. I'm going to say he's springing back and forth. But a very experienced manager, a very good manager as well. So it's going to be a tussle between these two. And, you know, it'll be an interesting game, and see if we can, like I said, bounce back from that Bristol Rovers defeat last home game. Now, if I was to give my prediction for this, I'm going to go positive. Being at home, you know, I think you're going to be positive. I'm going to go for a Grimsby Town 3-1 win. One other thing I would say just before, after saying that, is players are coming back. They're probably a matter of weeks now away. Injuries like Gilzenon and things like that. They will be back hopefully in the next few weeks. Obviously, Artel would not confirm it to a point, but a lot of the injured players now, see Danny Rose is getting closer to maybe starting in the league at some point, and the other players as well, they're all getting closer and up to speed with everything. So I'm saying 3-1, and I'm going to say 2 of the 3 are going to be the same scorers. I'm going to go 1 for Chaz and 1 for Greeny. Why not? And defensively, I think I've got to go. Yeah, I've got to go Harvey Rogers. I think we need to get the third. Obviously, people are going to fancy Jays to get the first goal. Jays could easily do that. I mean, Jays is having such a great start, but for me, just those 3. I think obviously Jake Eastwood's going to want to come and impress over his remaining time here, after coming from here, I should say. So a tough game, but I'm saying 3-1, and hopefully, you know, the Mariners can come away with 3 good points to back up our first month. Very superb. So leave your comments down below for me. Let me know what you think is going to happen. What's your prediction for the game? And who are your goal scorers. You know, let me know who the goal scorers are for you. In the meantime, guys, I will leave it at that. Let me know down below what you think. Give us a goal prediction, and also how many you think will be at Blundell Park at the weekend. And let's just see what happens. So like, share, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. And I will be at Blundell Park, so if you see me, come and say hi. And I will see you guys in the review for the game, which will be on Saturday night. In the meantime, guys, up the Mariners. If you are going, enjoy the game. And like I said, I'll see you there. And I'll see you afterwards for the review. In the meantime, up the Mariners. And we're going in to game week 8, really. Can we make it 5 wins from 8? Let's hope so. In the meantime, guys, I'll see you soon. Ta-ra for now. Good times.